Ladies and gentlemen, I want to get this out early and often here. My sincerest condolences to Miss Mickey Lee and her family and closest of kin and friends. Make no mistake about it, this rant is in no way meant to make light of her loss. It is in no way me making a mockery of her passing away. But it is me, once again, bringing balance to a community that I promised y'all in my retirement rant would only get worse with me away and no longer around to stop the bleeding. See, this isn't me trying to do some victory lap necessarily, but I'm fully aware that I'm the only one fully equipped to hold the people accountable who need to be in an eloquent fashion. See, for the last 4 to 5 years, all I have seen is white liberals get away with bloody murder, weaponizing our women against our men in favor of these trinkets our women get, but only a select few. Now black women can't win America's favorite player. Now the guy who looks like a black man won America's favorite player, when it used to be brothers could never win it. I told y'all a role reversal will start to happen, and you're starting to see the pendulum shift slowly but surely. Because after this sister passed away, I'm doing research on her. I'm finding out how her father, rest his soul, passed away a year prior. I'm finding out how she didn't even want to be around family if her father wasn't there. All these people labeled her homophobic because she targeted a gay man who made it his entire job to protect Rachel Riley after she was homophobic her first time around. But isn't it interesting how a white woman can be homophobic and all she has to do is invite Reagan to her wedding, and that just offsets everything she said about him? Meanwhile, the black woman, nothing she could have said or done after the season ended could have helped her PR-wise when it came to these racist fans who any other time act like they have y'all back so much, sisters. See, we got to get the infinity gauntlet out because I'm here to preach to the choir on this Sunday morning, Sunday afternoon. See, what you got to realize is there's a lot of irony in what's going on in this community. It's laughable how people will see blatant clout chasing and they'll come up with all these excuses for why we need to allow people to grieve at their own rate. No one's saying you can't grieve. What we're saying is you didn't give a fuck about the woman when she was alive. Now we're supposed to believe you give a fuck about her when she's gone? This would be like somebody who their entire time when I was making content wanted to cancel me. And then as soon as I retire, now all of a sudden they're doing dedication posts, bringing up all the good things I did in the past. Well, where were you when all these people were calling me a misogynist? That's how I feel about these fake ass hoes now. You got Ashley coming out the woodwork, tone deaf as shit. This bitch never been black, never identified as black, always lived a white adjacent life. Chelsie, to a lesser degree, she's been around money a lot. Her auntie is in Hollywood. Potato Chip's a pageant girl. Understand, all the black women who have won the game of Big Brother, they have the least connection to black society imaginable. And this is why production were so invested in handing them the money. Because they knew they would never recirculate that in our community. Ask yourself, if Chelsie was aware of Mickey receiving death threats, why didn't she speak up about it prior to Mickey passing? She loves to bring up all these racist white fans on Twitter. You mean to tell me you couldn't stand up for your sister? This is the same shit Potato Chip does to Chelsie. And then Chelsie, what does she do? She follows suit and does the same hazing tactics to the next sister that follows behind her. But sisters keep trying to convince the world that the world is trying to pit them against each other. If you ask me, and if you ask a lot of logical thinking men, it really feels like when you make it to a higher status, all you want to do is gatekeep that status, and you don't want to be replaced by the newer model. See, ladies and gentlemen, I brought up how Potato Chip, she loves to use men, trade us in, get a newer model, and then she parades around with this new guy, and then she uses that new guy to get somewhere else. If you ask me, this has been the biggest issue amongst black men and black women. The idea that no matter how much black men are used, and no matter how much we sign up to be used believing we're on code, sisters can continue to compartmentalize it as, oh, well, you're duty bound to do that. You don't deserve a kudos for it. Then when we stop doing it, now all of a sudden, we're public enemy number one. But when we were doing it, we didn't get any credit for it. See, in this rant/roast entitled Relational Aggression, we're gonna break down the real issues with the Big Brother community and why it is dying. This is the tragic downfall of this show. And for those who don't know the definition, let me break this down before the intro. Relational aggression is a subtle, non-physical type of bullying where harm is inflicted by damaging someone's social standing, friendships, or reputation through manipulation, exclusion, spreading rumors, or giving the silent treatment, all with the intent to hurt and control, often using social power rather than physical force. If you ask me, this started with Tiffany, who utilized relational aggression against every member of the cookout so she could be handed everything. Then she had to run the winner circle because eventually that clout died out. Then they finally started their own channel, but by then they no longer had any buzz, they no longer had any momentum, so it was a little too late for that. Then you had Potato Chip, who refused to allow Monty to be in the winner circle with her, even though he did all the heavy lifting for her. Then you had Sari Fields, who they tried to hand a season to. Then everyone blamed Jarrett, but no one wanted to talk about how even that season sisters couldn't stop fighting with each other for a greater cause. Then you have BB26. T Cornball literally played the worst game she could play to hand the game to Chelsie. She betrayed Cedric for no reason, betrayed Tucker for no reason, but now this homeless bitch wants to live with Tucker in New York. Isn't it funny how people have fallen? So once again, it's men who tend to forgive and forget. It's women who tend to hold grudges forever, make everything personal. And then when men begin to realize, oh, this is a personal battle, okay, I'm gonna start taking shit personally. Then they try to act like we need to touch grass. Listen, we're just catching up to speed with your petty tactics. And at the end of the day, no one has been more petty towards this lady Mickey than Ashley. Ashley is one of the most pretentious, disgusting, nonsensical, inhumane type of entities I have ever seen. And I didn't even watch the bitch on feeds. So ladies and gentlemen, kick your feet up and get yourself a cold beverage. Because in this rant, we're gonna break down why her PR has taken a hit she can never recover from. We're gonna break down how Chelsie somehow got into the fray and now her PR took a hit right when I started giving her some credit for her Amazing Race performance. When she's away from Jack, what does she become? An idiot all over again. Kick your feet up, get yourself a cold beverage, because this is RBR, where we tell the truth and we don't hold shit back, and where the real stars are.
I have been a fan of this show.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the critically acclaimed The Pop the Trunk podcast, now Patreon exclusively sponsored Hall of Fame. I'm your humble host, Dave, and because we have recently, within the black space, suffered a huge loss and tragedy, please appreciate the idea that I will not be doing the intro, because y'all need me to have a serious, more serious tone here. That's why I'm here, to be Debo and kick some of these hoes' doors in. See, you gotta understand something here. I was the guy for the longest. People acted like they didn't understand or comprehend the black man's way of thinking or his nuance. They didn't want to invite any of us to their platforms or panels so we could speak up for any of us. No, they just kept allowing gay black men who resent us and black women who had some reason to diss us to constantly speak on behalf of us. We didn't have a voice. This is what started the RBR channel. The idea that black men needed someone who would speak up for them and that would do something that was smart enough, not just to speak up for black men, but to wake sisters up and bring us together. Since I've been away, name one person who has tried to bring us together. Nobody. In fact, all you see is more division, which is once again my point. I'm not the reason for why the black community is in shambles. The reason why it's in shambles is because too many people voluntarily took the poison chalice. And see, no one wants to take ownership or accountability for how they've been finessed by these white liberals. Nobody wants to admit that the white woman is clearly on top of the hierarchy of feminism. None of these black women want to admit that Ashley winning did nothing for the game. None of them want to admit that we have 3 black women now who have won Big Brother in the last 4 years, and all 3 of them are easily hateable by the masses now. Potato Chip is more disliked than ever after Amazing Race. Ashley made a goofball of herself over the last few days, and Chelsea's always had some level of disinterest or, I'll just say, no one really gave a shit about Chelsie. Like, no one ever has, and that's why I think she has chosen to just disappear over other things. But it once again showcases the cowardice amongst these women. See, they want you to believe as sisters, because this is what they got to do to reel you back in to support them. They have to make you believe that there's this force out there that wants them to fight each other. What is this force? This inanimate object that you claim wants you sisters fighting each other. Please, if you don't put a face to the name, if you don't tell us who this force is, I'm not in the community, so who could it be? You can't say Shay wants y'all to fight each other, because y'all said Shay doesn't have a voice that has any credibility. So who with credibility is pushing you sisters to fight each other? RHAP. Rob has a propaganda. Rob has a prejudice. All they do is kiss your ass. So please tell me. But that's the funniest part about Taryn. He has yet to post anything in remembrance of Mickey. He don't like that girl. See, he went from being her #1 fan to her turning on the gay white boy. Seems like that hits you kind of hard to your core, Taryn. I think you're exposing who you are more than anything else. Right? Soon as the black woman turns on a gay white boy, and all of a sudden Taryn, I don't want nothing to do with her. Nothing to do with her. He'll do all these tell-alls with all these other black women. He'll wax poetic about how good they are at the game, but deep down this nigga never gave a fuck about nobody black. He's grifting his ass off. But this ain't about him. I'ma stick to my community right now because we gotta do some housekeeping. See, what you gotta understand is, Mickey was treated very similarly to the average black man. That's why it hits me to my core how she's passed, without getting any level of closure, without having people admit that they did her dirty. Understand, if a black man had passed away the same way, he wouldn't have got 5% of the amount of nice tweets about him. They would have said that's what that nigga gets. So I'm still aware of the fact that there's still a double standard to a degree, but I'm willing to scrap my ego at the door to understand there's something bigger that's important here. See, Mickey got all this flack for saying she was the only traditional black woman on the cast. Factually, she's not wrong. Morgan is half white. Ashley basically grew up white. Mickey is the only one on day one the majority of black women were rooting for. Only when everyone turned on her did you see a lot of black women turn on her too. But kudos to you sisters out there that still stood by her anyway. I just wish the sisters that stand by sisters no matter what would have that same ethos and philosophy with standing by black men no matter what. But once again, that's a conversation for another day, and that seems to be a bit too strenuous for some of you. But I digress. But just understand this. All of these black women who have won Big Brother over the last 4 years, if you combine their winnings together, that is over $2 million. Now, if you add taxes into it, it's still over $1 million at least. That's $1 million that they could have put in a pot to recirculate within the black community, to put together programs to help young black girls and black boys. But do these black women really care about black people? No, they only care about themselves. And that's been my entire point. Now I get it, you can argue, well Dave, what has Xavier done for black people? You're right, but Xavier every day isn't acting like his win was meant to help young black people. Xavier every day is not going out of his way to act like the wokest nigga in the room like Potato Chip has. Like Ashley acts like she has. When in all reality, that bitch looks up to Reese Witherspoon in Legally Blonde. Her idol is a white bitch with blonde hair. This is a girl with so much self-hate, it goes beyond what we can even comprehend. So you have to understand, when you see all these fans throughout BB27, when you see all of them rooting for her to win the game, you gotta understand what that was really about. See, they didn't want a woman like Morgan to be viewed as one of the best comp players ever, to be viewed as one of the best players ever, and she identifies as black. See, if Morgan didn't identify as black, they wouldn't have been rooting for Ashley at all. Because they love it when the white woman looks that strong. See, you gotta understand. See, I was around before a lot of these young whippersnappers were. And that's why I gotta teach y'all a lesson about why y'all are cringeworthy now.
Gen Z has a moral superiority problem, while simultaneously being one of the most unkind and uncompassionate generations of young people that I've ever had the displeasure of interacting with. And I'm saying that as someone who is Gen Z. And because of this, I've often felt very disconnected from my own generation because the hypocritical nature of the way that we move as Gen Z is something that I could never get behind. Because I don't see how anyone could have the cognitive dissonance to see themselves as morally superior than other people while not living by any moral standards in their real life. We frame such importance on being seen as a good person that we forget we're actually supposed to act as good people. Being a good person means that you take real action to do good things.
And you can't name one real action Potato Chip, Chelsie, or even Ashley up to this point have done to really showcase that they really care about you black women or you black men. They just care about the attention and clout that comes from saying they care. And that's the problem. While everyone talks and critiques me by saying all I am is talk, I'm not the nigga handed $1 million. Watch what I would do with $1 million. Oh, I would set this whole community up. It'd be brand new. You'd think it would be reverse gentrification when I'm done with this shit. You feel a dig me, coach? But in all seriousness though, let's finish the point.
It doesn't mean parading around and trying to prove how morally superior you are while not putting in any of the work to actually be a good person.
And this is my point about you content creators who low-key look up to me, but you're too scared to admit you rock with me, so you instead act like I don't exist while you try to copy all the talking points I made prevalent, and then behind the scenes, privately, you act like, hey, I'll fuck with you, bro, but then publicly, nah, I don't really fuck with that nigga, though. That's the same thing Chelsie and Ashley did to Mickey. You gotta understand, this is feminine behavior, but I see it from niggas every day who act like they fuck with my content when in reality, they just wanna gain clout from being able to use me in some fashion or to trick me into giving them a cosign so they can build up subs without having to put in the work. And that's what this lady's talking about. Y'all niggas don't want to actually do the work. Y'all don't got the elbow grease for this shit. Y'all don't got the passion for this shit like I do. And that's why I was viewed as a threat by these entities, because they could see it on me. I got the Malcolm X in me. I got the Martin Luther King in me. I got the Fred Hampton in me. These other niggas, with all due respect, Shay is the only one that got a warrior spirit in him. That's why I don't throw shade at my brother no more. I'm old enough to understand where he was coming from. Sure, could we all have a better delivery sometime? Of course. But no one ever critiques the black woman's delivery, or the white man's delivery, or the white woman's delivery. They can get shit off no matter how the fuck they want to. So, you gotta understand, this is why everything is coming to a head.
And I think this is an epidemic amongst Gen Z. We want so badly to be seen as good and even perfect people. But the majority of people my age that I've interacted with have been some of the worst people I've ever met. So I'm not understanding where this moral superiority comes from.
And let's be honest, wouldn't you all admit that the BB community has pretty much sprouted and birthed some of the worst personalities we have ever seen? Everyone wants to act like Evil Dick is this deplorable human being. Let's not get it twisted. I'm not here to defend that nigga, right? But I'm fully aware that Rachel Riley laughed when he said the N-word. I'm fully aware that Alyssa Riley acts like BB27 sucks when BB15 was trash. And I'm happy Morgan put that bitch in her place. Bitch trying to culturally appropriate, doing Nicki Minaj challenges and shit. Fuck you, bitch. Anybody who benefited from a twist during a racist season benefited from racism. That goes twice for you, Andy Herron. But once again, because y'all are white liberals. First of all, anybody who's rich and white, I don't believe you're a liberal anyway. I believe you're posturing yourself to be liberal, just like how Hollywood forces all their actors and actresses to be liberal. I don't believe anyone who's in a specific tax bracket really gives a shit about the little girl or the little boy in the poor area. I don't believe it at all, because it doesn't behoove you to care.
I'm starting to think that as a collective, we're just using moral superiority as a way to put other people down, and so that we can feel like good people. Because it seems like that's the only way that we know how. And with the majority of us online all the time, I think the internet has skewed what morality really means. And it's made us feel superior over other people based off of things that have no weight in real life.
So you have to understand, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to put a case together as to why all these entities are full of shit. But first, I want to remind you all of my talking point. You are seeing how full of shit fans are, because no one's talking about how fake of a feminist Ashley is. Bitch, you cut a black woman for a white man just so you could get money you didn't need. That would have changed that black woman's life, which further shows feminists don't care about black women. They care about themselves. They look at it as a movement that can springboard them somewhere else. So understand here, while Ashley got carried to the end by Morgan, who believed this is like a sister to me, I would love to sit in final 2 with her.
Had you won the final HOH, who are you going to take?
You know, I was actually going to take Ashley.
So while Morgan is so on code that she's willing to take the black girl to final 2, because Chelsie created this toxic complex that it has to be all woman final 2, Ashley has other ideas. Because Ashley has never once really given a fuck about black sisterhood. Ashley probably at law school had more white friends than black friends. Alright? She's probably only cool with Hannah because they had similar nannies. Understand, production looks for these obscure black chicks. I broke this down with T Cornball once upon a time. They look for all these obscure black chicks that are so hard to find in Chicago, with zero to no ties to the black community, that look like us. That way they could be the chameleons that infiltrate our ranks, find out what we're thinking, and use it against us later. Ashley was jealous of Morgan. Morgan was everything Ashley could not be. Morgan had charisma. Morgan was winning comps. Morgan had a guy that actually was attracted to her. Meanwhile, Ashley was drooling over an Asian man who low-key threw his game away from Morgan in the first place. And let's not forget, that was the central crux of why she hated Morgan from the start. So you got all these people labeling Morgan a pick-me. And then On top of all of that, you have all these fans that are angry at Mickey because she had the audacity to tell the truth, ladies and gentlemen, about the double standard about what black people go through when they actually come from a black community, when they actually come from the real roots. I'm talking the grassroots. I'm not talking about this post-BLM, everyone wants to have a kufi on and be woke shit. I'm talking about literally the real inner city. I'm talking about the real, your neighborhood raised you. I'm talking about the real, hey man, we gotta make this shit stretch. We gotta put water in our milk, in our cereal. I'm talking about that. And when Mickey start bringing up this real shit, it makes y'all uncomfortable. Cause deep down, when she talks like this, all you white folks that love to insert yourself in black conversations, you're having a gate put in front of you, and we're telling you you can't speak on shit you don't know nothing about. Listen to this.
So I've seen this comment just a couple of times, and I just want to make sure that I address it. So never did I ever say that I felt like I was the only real black woman or the only black woman on the show.
Let me first preface this by saying your enemies will always play semantics gymnastics with you over specific words you say, because deep down, they don't want your messaging to get through to the masses. We all knew what Mickey meant. She's the only traditional black woman there. It's common sense. I talk all the time about traditional black men. No one had a problem with it. When I was talking about these things, about Herman, how he was the only traditional black man on BB Can 10, remember how I brought up these things? I bring up these things because they matter. Because for a lot of black people, they can only relate to Lamar Jackson. They can't really relate to Dak Prescott. And that PR spin is why Dak couldn't win MVP over Lamar, even though Dak performed better than Lamar did. I need to speak on this, that way y'all understand that this applies to men and women. This isn't just a woman thing. But once again, I need you all to understand the dichotomy of this before Mickey cooks further.
At all. Now, what I did say was I felt like I was the only traditional black woman in the house. And in hindsight, I definitely used the wrong word choice. And what I truly meant was stereotypical black woman.
Yes.
And all I was trying to express is that I felt like I was the only black woman, black person in the house that was being treated through a stereotypical lens. And that's it. I felt like I was being asked a lot of questions about my hair being real, or people insisting that my hair was not real because it was so long. I was also being termed as the weaveologist, asked a lot of questions about weaves, and I've never worn a weave in my life. I was asked if I knew who my father was because I said that I was raised in a single parent household. I was asked about food stamps. I'd been asked about validating cultural references. I was asked about rap songs and confirming rappers' names and things of that sort.
And all of that is passive aggression. All of that is subtle dog whistling. All of that is someone non-black trying to figure out how black you are in order to size up how much of a threat you are based on your blackness. See, the Ashleys of this world don't come off as black at all to white folks, so they would love to see her win. Think about it. The Wills of this world don't come off masculine at all to anyone white, so they love him. He the first black man in damn near 20 years these niggas liked, and y'all wonder why? You gotta just think about it. But isn't it funny how all these people took so much exception to what Mickey is saying here, and yet these were the same people during BB24 who didn't want Amira to win or Jasmine to win based on colorism. They deemed that those women were too light-skinned to be viewed as the first black woman to win. Now, all of a sudden, when Mickey says something which is in alignment with how all these fans viewed BB24, now all of a sudden, she's out of pocket because she's telling the truth about their darling who's aligned with Rachel Riley. So you gotta understand, this is even further how full of shit this community is. They move the goalpost every time. It's like Charlie Brown trying to kick the field goal. Come on, man.
I was also asked, did I know how to twerk? Asking, do I know how to twerk on a handstand? So on and so forth. That's just a few things. And I was basically just talking about my experience. That's simply it. Now, I did use the wrong word choice. I definitely should have said stereotypical. When I did my interview for that question.
No, you were right to say traditional. You were right to say that. Because the average black girl doesn't have the luxuries of being raised in the type of world Ashley was, to always know that no matter what, she's gonna end up in law school somehow. Or to be able to, when she wants to, code switch like Morgan can. If Morgan wanted to, she didn't have to claim black at all. Just like if Brooklyn wanted to, she didn't have to claim black at all. When it comes to Mickey though, she don't have a choice. And that's the difference. This is why I say that gay shit will never be as similar to struggle to black shit, because we were enslaved for our blackness. We can't hide our blackness. You can always hide your sexuality.
I literally had 2 hours of sleep. I had just been evicted. And honestly, y'all, I had no time to even mentally process or prepare for the question to even be asked, because I didn't even know the question was even a topic of discussion or an issue out in the real world at all. And I didn't have time to even really properly process or just even put together and properly express my thoughts in that moment. But under no circumstances was I ever trying to invalidate or devalue anyone else's blackness. I was simply really just trying to focus on my experience and how I felt I was treated in that house, and not.
But see, what's so disgusting about this is that I warned sisters that they were being finessed into believing that they were at the top of this feminist totem pole just because they were being pandered to so hard. When this sister right here, rest her soul, when she turned on that boy Jimmy, that gay twink, all the people who treated her like she was the second coming of Satan himself, all these people who treated her as if this dude Jimmy deserved better, all these people completely put to the side the idea that he admitted that he wanted to be a villain. It almost reminded me so much of how when Dougie returned to play Big Brother Canada 12, how he got Vivek to backdoor Dennis, and how all these people just flipped on Dougie again because he had the nerve to play smart, because he didn't allow these women to utilize this gay dude who was only placed on the cast to help women have a man that could do something for them. It's almost as if they want straight men and women with real knowledge and understanding of self. It's like they want us all to be more ignorant so they can get over on us. And when we don't allow them to, now we're just homophobic. And that's what happened. People labeled this sister homophobic. They labeled her anti-black for her comments that were objectively honest and truthful. They did all types of things. And me being a light-skinned man, don't get it twisted, I've also had my hurdles growing up. Playing sports, they always think the light-skinned black kid is soft. You gotta earn it on the gridiron. You gotta earn it on the court. But I didn't cry about it. You know what I did? I proved people wrong. And I showed them that I'm tougher than they think I am. And that's how you earn respect as a man. With ladies, it's a bit different, because y'all learn how to be more underhanded with one another. That's why y'all put so much onus and clout on the social game, because realistically speaking, y'all always can run the gossip in a pinch. Meanwhile, the man, unless he's gay, can't really do that. So you have to understand, Mickey was a great social player. She was a great comp player. She was as well-rounded as Morgan was. And make no mistake about it, until she turned on the gay dude, everyone loved her, even Taryn did. But as soon as she turned on him, it was like everyone made a decision she's homophobic. And since everyone is so scared of the rainbow cult, and since everyone deep down worships white feminism more than black feminism, everyone made a business decision as content creators, minus Shay, to essentially throw this sister under the bus. And now these are the same people now acting like they care about her passing away, when all of them did everything they could to stump her out in the fucking wrestling room then. It pisses me off.
Say that I was treated badly at all, but I did feel as though that it was a lot of pressure on me to, I guess, not only perform, but live up to these stereotypes that people kind of had me boxed in as, with me being the only one that kind of had to answer the questions and represent for whatever that looked like. So
now, Mickey, this is where I relate to you so much, sister, because I saw what Jared had to go through. He's the only black man on BB25. He has to live up to all of what Monty did before him. but he's the only black man. He gotta play with his mama, and he's surrounded by all these sisters. He has nobody that can be his road dog. He has nobody that can be his Ace Boon Coon. He has nobody that can be his brother of destruction that can really help him get shit done. Production set that brother up. Most brothers in this day and age have that same problem, where we have to single-handedly worry about how we're being perceived. We can't afford to come off this way or that way. So we have to be overly docile, we have to be super nice, and even when we win power and should celebrate the win, we can't afford to. See, Rachel Riley can win HOH and say floaters grab a life vest, then 10 plus years later reward a fucking floater with the win. She can do shit like that. That's part of white privilege, baby. But when it's a sister, you would just think all these people who virtue signal so long about how much they cared about the sister struggle and how much black men take sisters for granted, yada, yada, yada. You would think all these people would show Mickey a bit of grace, but they didn't. And why didn't they show her that grace? I'll tell you why they didn't show her that grace. Because she spoke on things that make the majority of sisters in this community feel uncomfortable, because the majority of sisters in this community are swirlers, meaning all they want to do is divest from the black community anyway. So what she was saying was hurting them to the core, but these were the same sisters who didn't mind hurting Amira and Jasmine for the same things. So once again, the hypocrisy is through the roof. All these people have this moral compass and this soapbox that they talk from, but their actions don't match their words ever. Meanwhile, when it comes to the black man, they make it seem like we have to be perfect. They make it seem as if we're held to the highest of standard, but they don't even hold themselves to that standard while acting like they are superior to us. So understand, ladies and gentlemen, the news going around essentially is that Mickey has always had a hole in her heart, and she was having some battles with the flu. And she was recently in hospice, essentially. You know, they were doing everything they could to keep her alive, you know, and it's very heartbreaking. But the idea that Ashley would use this moment to expose a private text message between her and someone who is now gone. First of all, we have no way of fact-checking a lot of this shit. The majority of it is anecdotal. And once again, I must state this. If this bitch just won 750 grand, why the fuck did she not ask Mickey once, hey, do you need some money? Hey, do you need anything? Hey, is everything okay? What is up with you sisters that got money to blow, but you still act like a penny pinching ass Negro? See, we gonna really break this shit down, ladies and gentlemen, because this is deeper than y'all really want to admit it is. And y'all know me, I'm capable of breaking it all down. So, first things foremost, she shares this text. And in the tweet, it specifically reads, one of my fist, all right, she can't even spell right, this crazy ass bitch. One of my first and one of my almost last texts to Mickey. This once again shows after the season ended, you really did nothing to make sure y'all were good. You were the one who won the game. You were the one with all the clout, and you didn't want her to benefit from any of your clout. So, like I said, the title of this rant is, you use relational aggression to essentially wait her out, bleed her out, and you were hoping eventually she would come crawling back to you. This is what Potato Chip tried to do to Amira and Jasmine. To be fair, Jasmine did crawl back to that bitch. Amira, not so much, right? And if you remember, it felt like Amira and Monty were dating after BB24 for a little while, and I think that played another role in why Amira said, fuck that hoe. But anyway, thank God I did. Thank God I did. I did not know this would happen. I'm in shock. So, then she posts this, right? Hi, Mickey, it's Ashley. First of all, you mean to tell me you gonna text Mickey and you gonna put her name in lowercase letters and you not even gonna spell it right? This bitch ain't shit, my nigga.
Oh, it's fake.
Not only that, then she says, I wanted to reach out to you. I didn't really get to see you this weekend. Plus, I feel like a lot of people, redacted, I didn't really want to approach it in public with fans around and stuff, but I wanted to reach out. So in other words, in public, I didn't want to actually reconcile our differences where other people could see them, because then that would give you the opportunity to call me out on my fuck shit. So instead, I want to be the one who dictates terms and conditions because I believe I'm superior to you because I went to law school and you didn't. You gotta understand, this is how these white adjacent black women think. Just like how this is how these white adjacent brothers think. It's a sickness, right? Elitism is running rampant in every society, okay? It isn't just amongst whites, it isn't just amongst Latinos, it isn't just amongst Asians, it's amongst everybody, all right? The economy is all out of whack, and you would think a lot of these people would understand that, and they'd move accordingly. But instead, no. They want to play bully ball with their new amount of wealth, right? I wanted to reach out because I honestly don't like the way things have transpired between us. And I did really care about you in the house. I don't want beef with you, and I don't want the two black girls to be pit against each other. I don't like that. So I wanted to be the bigger person and reach out to squash the beef. Ladies and gentlemen, this is full of backhanded compliments, insincerity. First of all, if you're telling me you're being the bigger person by reaching out to me, you're already showing me that you have an agenda for reaching out to me. That's not how you apologize to someone, by saying, hey, I'm gonna be the bigger person here. Like, you're making it seem like someone is pulling your hair out for you to send this text. And once again, we have no real proof that this was even really sent to Mickey. This could be some fake number. She could have put Mickey at the top and she could have just wrote some shit because we don't see the reply underneath it. And it looks like Mickey left your ass on red if she even got it. But with that said, this talk about how everyone wants black women pit against each other, that's a joke to me, man. It's an absolute joke to me. Who wants y'all pit against each other? I'm the guy who tried to get y'all on the same page with black men and y'all were mad at me for it. But now you're creating the argument that all people want is for y'all to fight? Are you kidding me, coach? Now let's get to the next piece of evidence. I posted that because you gotta understand, now she's on the back foot. Everyone on Twitter knows she's full of shit. Everyone can see her for the clout chaser she is. Everyone can tell this bitch don't really have a pro-black bone in her body, right? But at the same time, everyone is aware that she's an attorney, so people have to tread lightly on what they say about her because they don't want to walk into a defamation thing. So you gotta understand, this is the reason why she's getting so much leeway, even though everyone can tell she's full of shit. I posted that because y'all continue to bash me, saying I never liked Mickey. Once again, lowercase letters. Can't even put a capital M on her name. That's very telling to me, ladies and gentlemen. We were taught as early as second fucking grade, when you write someone's name down, you capitalize it. But it's very ironic to me how once the lady passes away, all you want to do is capitalize off that. You fake ass bitch. So you gotta understand, we're finna cook her ass because I got time today. So when Spoiler Girl comes out to cook your ass, you know you've really fucked up here. Ashley, for once in your life, shut up and just stop talking. Delete these posts and be quiet about it. This is not the time to make this about yourself. You got all these people, oh, you're making it about her more than she is. What's she supposed to do? Not bring it up? Blah, 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 blah. Understand, they are only defending her because she's a black woman in their mind. If she was anyone else, they would see how this is all very malicious. Now we have this tweet. Apparently, Mickey blocked Ashley prior to all of this, okay? That's very telling to me as well. That tells me you were saying slick shit about her and it got back to her and she didn't forgive you for that. But of course, you're not gonna own up to the way that you sneak diss people all the time. Hell, you're the type to sneak diss niggas like Keanu. And that's why I'm happy Keanu put you in your fucking place. I mean, just listen to the way that she, pardon me, ladies and gentlemen, just look at the way that she sneak disses Keanu here by acting like he's not an all-star.
I think they'd do Rachel. I think they'd do me, potentially. And I think they would do Morgan. I don't know.
So she thinks the only all-stars from her season are women. Do you see how full of shit this bitch is, bro?
I don't think they would call Keanu for all-stars. Because...
But see, this is my point. She's a fake feminist. All she does is pander to the crowd. Oh, I think the only all-stars from our season are the three women from it. I won the game without doing shit, but I'm an all-star. Morgan is the one who deserved to win. I cost her 750 grand, but I'ma act like she deserves to be an all-star too. No, she deserves to be the fucking winner. Let's keep it real here. You shouldn't even been in Final 3, bitch. And let's be real. You were about to be thrown up on the block with 2 other black women, and production stepped in to stop that shit. I'll never forget that. So once again, you are once again another benefactor, like most black women are, of production interference. And then y'all run around and parade yourself like you got it off the strength of your own work. No, you didn't.
Keanu's gonna be like a big challenge person, I think.
Like, this bitch is essentially someone who plays Kingdom Hearts 2 and they rely on Mickey Mouse to save the day every time they die, and then they act like they really beat the game. You know what I'm saying? It's like, no, you didn't. Because every time you lost, Mickey Mouse came and saved your ass.
I think he's gonna become a challenge celebrity.
So her idea is that Keanu is not a Big Brother All-Star because he's gonna be on the challenge. What's the correlation there? If he's gonna be on the challenge one day, then he's clearly an all-star. Why would the challenge want him if he's not an all-star? You see how stupid this bitch is? But this is the subtle way she sneak disses niggas. And then she tries to hide her hand like, I didn't mean anything by it. I'm not trying to throw any shade. Now watch.
I think he's gonna become a challenge celebrity. Yeah. They always ask America's favorite for All-Stars.
Yeah.
Keanu was not good at Big Brother.
Bitch, you weren't good at Big Brother. What the fuck are we talking about? Oh, I was in a house with 8 women out of 11 players left, and all I did was hide behind other people and skate by and float. Oh yeah, that makes me good at the game. No, it doesn't. Like, bitch, you are dog water when it comes to the game of Big Brother. You're viewed as one of the worst winners, if not the worst winner ever, and that's why you keep trying so hard to get attention and clout, because deep down you didn't get any clout from the win you got, because no one respects your fucking win outside of the blind fans that are misandrists.
But maybe they would for entertainment.
See that? So are you admitting that they wouldn't pick you for entertainment because you're boring as shit? I mean, to be fair, I'd rather watch paint dry than watch you, bitch.
Maybe they would for entertainment.
See this? This is just
You know
shade,
what I'm saying? But like,
shade,
he wasn't good at Big
shade.
Brother. He was just good at the competitions.
Now, objectively speaking, I can admit Keanu strategically was not one of the better players in the game. We can all admit that. However, it's not like he was surrounded with many alpha dogs either. It's a lot harder to play this game when there's no men who want to work with men. When there's no men left. When the only other guy left is Vince, and all he want to do is be in Final 3 with 2 women that are feminists. It's easy to label someone bad at the game when production sets them up to fail from the start. Keanu was playing with house money and somehow left with AFP? That nigga is one of the biggest winners, and he's gonna even admit he won AFP by the highest margin ever. You don't do that unless a lot of people love you. And you have to ask yourself something, Ashley. How come you couldn't be in the running for AFP? Why did your girl Rachel, who you believe is more of an all-star than him, bitch couldn't even do a puzzle? Huh? Bitch looked like a hamster on that fucking wheel. Couldn't do it for shit. Please explain to me for a second. She had all these fans from 2 previous seasons of the game, plus the new fans that didn't watch her play that were already feminists that wanted her to succeed, and she still lost by a record margin? Nani? Chewy that tibayo. That really sounds like that bitch is not what y'all made her out to be. because everyone can see she's fake too. Her whole little alliance with Jimmy was meant to make you forget about Reagan. Her little alliance with you was meant to make us forget about how she screwed over Kalia. But you're too young to understand all of this because you're dumb. You're naive.
Like, love Keanu. This is literally no shade, guys, because Keanu has said this himself. He said he watched it back and he knows.
So now it's no shade. See how quickly she runs to, guys, no shade though. No shade though. Because at the end of the day, she knows Keanu has more fans than she does. So you come for, see, it's very rare that a man comes out of a season of Big Sister with more fans than any one woman has. Very rare. So this is the first time women have to watch how they talk slick about a man. Make no mistake about it, if this was any other season, you wouldn't have people copping all these pleas, trying to qualify why they have to say what they have to say about people. But understand, Keanu, he claps back at this bitch, and when he claps back, oh, he don't miss.
I'm aim over this shit.
Ashley said I'm not good at Big Brother.
Nice.
And that's okay.
A wasp.
I guess that would make two of us, huh?
Woo-hoo-hoo.
Would I do another season of
You
All
dad
Stars?
on?
Yeah, of
You
course I
do.
would.
Worst
Ashley's
bud
live?
ever.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest, guys. I don't care.
I'm gonna be honest.
Let's be honest, Keanu. One thing me and you both know is this chick Ashley can't generate any attention on her unless she jumps into the fray in someone else's attention, right? You're AFP, so she has to bring you up during her live for people to talk about her. Our sister Mickey passes away, so now she has to showcase texts she sent to her to show everyone, hey guys, I deserve some rub off from her. That's her playbook. But see, when you don't engage with these entities the way they want you to, when you look at them as the clout demons that they truly are, it really showcases the real issue with them. And that's why I'm happy Keanu just put the bitch in her place and kept it pushing.
How rude.
She said I won't be called for All Stars. If I don't get called for All Stars, it's because I'm killing it on another show.
Right. It's not going to be because they don't want them on All Stars, right? Oh, the only reason why they'll choose them is for entertainment. Bitch, that's what the show is. It's entertainment.
But I got America's favorite,
He's killing it.
and I got it by a record margin.
I believe we have a sub.
A record margin? Wasn't it like
Hey,
100%?
Mindy, appreciate that. No, I got 65% of America's favorite vote,
65%.
but it was
Oh, sorry,
also 65% of America's vote, and it was also the most votes ever cast for America's favorite. So, I mean,
See?
somebody go tell Ashley that. Well,
And let's not forget how butthurt Brendan was about this. Let's not forget how hard all these people tried to work to put their votes together and cram them on Rachel because they were trying to stop this brother Keanu from getting something he actually deserved. Keanu put in the work to deserve that award. Rachel only won one comp that was handed to her. And then the other comp she did that she actually needed to do well at, she failed at, and they were trying to hand her that money. That's what they were trying to do. And they all failed miserably. They were humbled. They took one of the biggest defeats they have ever taken. Don't ever forget that.
everyone else is hating the fact that
landslide.
she won our season and thinks that's what ruined it.
It was a motherfucking landslide. Please don't go crazy. Please don't go crazy.
Previous title holder was Taylor. I'm not 100% sure.
But ever since Taylor, no black woman has been America's favorite. So once again, everything that I have warned sisters about, I've been right about. This is not about me being angry or bitter. This is about me warning y'all that nothing lasts forever, especially things that you deem good in society. Now, I'd argue all of this shit has been a wolf in sheep's clothing. But with that said, it's important that we break down the perspectives of different people to really break down the character of this girl, Ashley. Because I'd argue anyone who has Applebee's and Corey's game so cheap it isn't worth the burger rooting for her, that usually is a sign that you're probably anti-black as shit, my nigga. Let's keep it real in these streets.
I don't want to see any of these clout demons that shit talked her
in the house, all over Ashley now.
So who's that? Zach, Vince? I mean, Vince is not going to be all over here.
Now, this is the most ironic part about it. First of all, I don't give a fuck how many motherfuckers I got a dog walk to get to this bitch. Applebee's, whoop Chili's ass, whoop Corey's ass, whoop Applebee's ass, whoop Chelsea's ass, dog walk all these feminists. I don't give a fuck who I gotta walk through. Cause I'm gonna talk my shit. How the fuck can Applebee's talk about everyone's gonna be a clout demon trying to chase clout off Ashley? When present day, it's Ashley who's trying to chase clout off the ones who didn't even fucking win the game. Think about it. We got people out here running to a narrative before they see any proof of what's gonna happen because they've been so engineered to believe black woman wins, she has all the clout. She has all the power for 12 months. You have to bend the knee to her. Well, we saw from Chelsea's win that doesn't apply to her because Potato Chip wouldn't allow it to apply to her. So it doesn't apply to Ashley either. Potato Chip is the one who created this rule where she was the only one who could be treated that way. So now every black woman who wins after her, it doesn't hit the same. And that once again stems from a black woman being against another black woman voluntarily. No one forced Potato Chip to hate on Chelsie. No one forced Chelsie to hate on, well, not hate on Mickey, but not speak up for Mickey. No one forced these women not to do it, but then all of a sudden they get called out for it, and now it's like, you guys are trying to pit us against each other. No, that's a coping mechanism so you don't have to admit what you played a part in. That's the truth of the matter. So you have to understand, her fans let her know that Applebee's, Apple Corey, they let her know that they're fans of her. And what does she say?
Corey and America love me? Really? I love them. Wait, tell me more.
This should tell you everything you need to know about this bitch being problematic. Because what self-respecting black woman can watch BB25 and like Applebee's? Think about it. Think about it. That bitch went out of her way. First of all, that bitch fought with Felicia. That bitch hated on Jared every day of the week. She talked Corey into ruining his game just so black people didn't have a shot to win. And then she cheated on Corey with other niggas on another show, and then that nigga Corey just wanted to focus on Big Brother 27. So here's the funniest part about it. Applebee's and Corey, they literally have more pride in supporting this bitch Ashley than they do in actually supporting the other show Applebee's played on. I mean, it's laughable. But they want to talk about clout demons, huh?
America's rooting for me? Really? Stop, really? Shut up. Corey goes on Twitch and America wanted you to win so bad. Oh my gosh. Stop, I love them and I love them together.
Now, y'all tell me this don't sound like a white girl. Oh my gosh, stop. Now, this is the same girl who claimed Keanu didn't know how to play the game and he would only be picked for All-Stars for entertainment purposes, and yet she likes Applebee's, who objectively was so bad at the game, all she could do was be a Timu Selma Hayek to try to last and make jury? This bitch had nothing about her that was straight up and down special effects. But just being a girl, that gets you into doors being a man can't. So once again, I want people to reevaluate how they treat men while we deal with the tragedy of what happened to Mickey here. Because her being treated like a man is what makes this loss hurt more as a man to me. And it should hurt more to you as a woman, understanding that now that black women are starting to be treated like black men, we have set ourselves up into the worst timeline imaginable where bitches like this, bitches like this, with no real ties to our community, she's the one who they want to speak up for us now. Women who look up to Apple Corey.
Wait, America said if any of those pre-jury clout chasers try to be fake with you after attacking you, oh my god, I love her. Wait, I need to DM her.
So understand, nobody was fake. Mickey didn't fuck with you after the season. Morgan didn't fuck with you after the season. Hell, Mickey and Morgan don't really fuck with each other like that after the season either. So every black woman from 27, when the season was over, all had issues with one another for some reason. That should also be alarming to sisters. The idea that this whole they want us pit against each other, it's a narrative that doesn't hold any weight because even the three sisters who recently played dislike each other. And who did they learn this from? The last two champions that came before them that were black women. But because we're in a society that never tells the truth about what's the real problem, we kick the can down the road, we blame men all the time. This allows women to repeat the same mistakes and never understand how they're falling in line with white supremacy's grand design. See, I'm here to spit bars here. It's up to you to really hear what I'm saying. And see, what makes people feel so uncomfortable is the idea that I'm well read. I'm not no goofy nigga. I'm not one of these guys you could come around me and say some slick shit, and I'm like, oh, that dude cool. No, nigga. I gotta see more of you. I gotta see if you really what you say you are. And the truth is, a lot of the people in this community are fucking cowards. They can't do shit on their own. That's why they have to surround everyone. They can't go nowhere by themselves. Hell, they can't even do a rant or video by themselves. But that once again is my whole point. Do you honestly believe if Rachel was never on that cast, do you honestly believe these people would love Ashley so much? A lot of the reason why they loved her was because they saw her winning as Rachel winning. A lot of people loved her and Will because they were aligned to Rachel. If Will was not aligned to Rachel, if Will was more of a heterosexual man, if Will had some masculinity in his body, if Will had a son and not just daughters, they would hate that nigga. We know it's the truth. So you have to understand, this is the picture I have to paint for all of you as we move forward. And we start to really break down even further how Ashley and Chelsie put feet in their mouths, okay? So now we've already established the whole Mickey and Morgan and Ashley dynamic, how this is basically a triple threat match. How, despite what Corey and Applebee's once thought, after the season ended, Keanu and AFP, he don't fuck with Ashley. Rachel, she took her bag and went home because if she can't be handed money, she really don't want to fuck with nobody because she's selfish and she's a fake feminist anyway. Morgan, she's mad because you cut her before Final 2 while talking all that pro-black woman shit. I don't want black women pit against each other, but I'm going to cut you for a white man in Final 3. But I'm still pro-black. Doesn't make any fucking sense. And Vince, of course, they forced him on the back foot because everyone labeled him bad because he lied in a game that was built on lies. So they've begun to rewrite what it means to be a good player. Now lying isn't part of the game. But every lie Ashley told, they waxed poetic about how that was her masterminding things. Once again, it's a joke, okay? So now we have this tweet. This tweet says, please stop this. At one point, no one was closer to Mickey than Ashley. But see, this is what hurts more. The idea that Mickey went to bat for this ungrateful bitch. She protected her when she knew Riley wanted her fucking out the house. She stole Riley's HOH even though she had a crush on the nigga. She didn't have to steal that shit from him. She didn't. Let's keep it real. And Mickey and Morgan were capable of winning AI Arena and Veto in ways Ashley was not. So in reality, she could have held on to that twist and let this bitch go home. But see, her believing she gotta look out for her fellow sister, that's what bit her in the ass. That's what bit Morgan in the ass. And no one talks about how the people who truly are pro-black, they're the ones who get sniped. They're the ones who really pay the piper so all the fake woke niggas can make the money. That's the part that's crazy to me. How the true grifters in our society are the ones that get rewarded. And the ones who really are about that life are the ones that get vilified because they make white folks uncomfortable. So let's go to the next expose. This one. I posted that because y'all continue to bash me. I had nothing to gain from reaching out to her a few weeks ago, but peace of mind and a hope for rekindling. I can't believe Mickey is really gone. This person says, personally, if someone texts me to say they're reaching out because they want to be the bigger person, I'm not responding either. That's a great point. This person says, now understand, what Ashley did made it to TMZ. So now, Mickey's death has turned into a TMZ tabloid because this stupid ass hoe doesn't know how to exercise a bit of decorum. She doesn't know how there's a proper etiquette to paying homage to people, to truly mourning someone's loss. She doesn't get it. And are you noticing how the TMZ article makes it look like Ashley is smirking while looking at Mickey? It's as if TMZ knows she don't like her. Think about it. Think about the imagery of all of this, and you'll understand why this is so asinine. First, R.I.P. Mickey. My wife and I watch BB Hardbody every year. This is sad. Second, Ashley is very dumb to send a screenshot of a text she sent to someone now dead that said, I wanted to be the bigger person. How stupid are you? Third, don't post my screenshots when I die, please. So understand, this girl is so obsessed with clout and attention. She's made it to TMZ for all the wrong reasons. And this was the girl everyone thought everyone else would try to clout chase off of. Meanwhile, this is the person everyone is trying to avoid it like the plague, and she's the one trying to hold on to them because they have real motion in their communities. See, that should show you something. Production, white society. Y'all could try to manufacture all of these black influencers as much as you want, but like Malcolm X once said, you'll never be able to tell real black people who to fuck with. Sure, the sheep, they'll rock with who you tell them to because they're sheep. They're meant to be shepherded. But the real ones, the ones that can go out there, hunt and gather, the ones that never had to rely on y'all for shit, the ones who always known all they got in this world, they're gonna be the ones that always land on their feet and they never needed you to tell them shit. That's the truth. And see, it's sad to me that it took Mickey passing for people to see Ashley in this light. It's sad to me that it took Mickey passing for people to see how all these black women who win the game deep down don't even care when a black woman dies. They still only care about themselves. And if they can do this to another black woman after she passes, how much hate and vitriol do they truly have towards their own fathers? You gotta think about it. This is deep. Now we have this evidence for the for the jury, ladies and gentlemen. Ashley is sick. Like seriously, she's not right in the head. Mickey passed away and you're finding ways to make this about you. This person talks about how she misspelled Mickey's name and didn't capitalize the M. This person talks about how Mickey found out Ashley was calling her a dictator behind her back. So that's why Ashley and Mickey didn't get along. So understand, Ashley was throwing shade at Mickey over and over. In fact, I have further proof of how she tried to clown Mickey literally in her face. She tried to clown her. Just listen to this shit for a second. You'll know what I mean.
Mickey!
Hey. Mickey Mouse.
What time is it?
9.
Now the only thing Disney Plus is you, bitch. But the audacity to call her Mickey Mouse. Understand, the mouse is in the same family as a rat. You're labeling her a rodent. You are belittling her. So understand, Ashley had issues with Morgan. She had issues with Mickey. She just faked it like she rocked with them. Just like I'm sure she faked like she rocked with several black women at her law school. This girl don't give a fuck about black women like that. You can read it off of her body. Because if she really did care about us, if she really did care about black women, she wouldn't have posted what she posted. So understand, a lot of people are on her ass. And the truth is, feminists are uncomfortable because they have never seen a winner get cooked this hard right after winning the game. They have been socially engineered to believe a black woman wins, we all must like it. But the problem is, when too much success comes to one specific protected class over and over, no longer can you claim you're the mistreated class. No longer can you claim that the world is out to get you. And no longer can you claim that you're this victim. No longer can you act like everyone should be happy for your victories. Now you've become the new white man. See, everyone says the black man is the white man of the black community. But the truth is, the way the sister constantly gets away with whatever she does, that is the most similar to the white man's past. No one wants to admit that either. But once again, let's get to this tweet. Anyone who has followed you since the show ended knows the only beef you had with Mickey was something she said in an interview about being the only true black woman in the house. The comment underneath it said, with all due respect, that's not what Mickey said, and then she posted an article. So understand, the same woman who is saying this shit above, talking about, oh, you have a right to be mad at her for saying you're not a true black woman. It's one of these white liberals who looks like this. Think about this for a second, y'all. These are the ones gassing up our women that hate us. Women that look like this. Ain't this a bitch? So I went to the article, right? Because I wanted to see what the article read. And the article essentially was the same thing that Mickey's video talked about. How she was essentially misquoted. How what she really meant to say was she was the only stereotypical black woman. She's the traditional black woman, right? All these things are pertinent. All these things are worth mentioning. But once again, when you say something that makes someone's fave looks less authentic than what white media wants them to look, now all of a sudden you're the one who's wrong. But the same people who want us to forgive Ashley are the same people who couldn't forgive Mickey for a game move. The same people who want us to forgive Ashley for trying to take advantage of a death, they're the same ones who never forgiven Monty for making potato chip rich. The same ones that want us to forgive this bitch Ashley for trying to take advantage of someone's death, they're the same ones every day of the week hating on every black man in society that ain't a faggot or ain't Will from 27. So once again, somehow, some way in this situation, we need to exercise forgiveness. We need to understand what people are going through is different. Everyone's not the same. We're all not monolithic. But any other time, all y'all do is try to force everyone to mimic the same speech. So once again, this is yet another example of how people are fake. So then this person says, she shades Mickey when she is in critical condition. My goodness. Oh man. This person says, the BB community should understand that while you may not like a house guest or care what they said about someone, you can still send them blessings. How the fuck are you sending someone blessings by posting a text? This is how I know you niggas did not pass 5th grade reading comprehension. Y'all niggas are dumb. You villa dig me, coach. Once again, y'all only create these excuses when women fuck up. Y'all never create these excuses for men. Now you got the same motherfucker who said all this shit about how you can still send them blessings if something bad happens to them, right? This is what this person, Fuzzy Frog, said, right? Now look at this tweet from Fuzzy Frogs. This is way back when in 2022. Monty was talking to Turner. He said, Taylor, you didn't give Brittany the headphones. It was just the power trip that I felt you were on. I told her maybe this is some of the stuff people were telling you about, like you rubbing them the wrong way. Objectively, Monty was right. This was after Potato Chip ripped the headphones off Monty's head because she was trying to be performative in front of Brittany, another fake feminist who tried to vote Potato Chip out right after that, by the way. The same motherfucker telling us all that we need to exercise giving people blessings even if you don't like them or like how they played. This is the same motherfucker back then in 2022 who posted a video clip of a woman running over someone in the street because she had enough of Monty. Or he, I don't know who the fuck this is, but my point is, once again, these people are full of shit. They literally will instigate violence on someone they don't like. Then when someone dies and they happen to be a woman, now it's, hey guys, hold on now, whoa. It's almost like the Equalizer meme. When all those guys were surrounding Denzel and then he took the gun and flipped on him, whoa. Now you don't want no smoke, right? That's this community. So now we have this tweet, ladies and gentlemen. Understand, we are going to cook everyone in this fucking community because they're all full of shit, and we're gonna spin this on back to Ashley and Chelsie towards the end, and I'm gonna really end this with a great a great soliloquy of sorts, okay? I just want y'all to understand that there's a method always to my madness, and there's a reason why I have to deliver this message. So now we have this tweet. Ashley's tweets replies are genuinely so insane. I'm sick of you motherfuckers holding black women to a higher standard. What? When have sisters been held to a higher standard in the last 4 years? Chelsie said Cam didn't have a good male role model even though his mother passed away and his father picked up the slack for 2 parents. She said he didn't have a positive male role model. She said he needed to be around Matt to learn how to be a man. Then after the season, this bitch was literally smoking weed with fucking Cam. Literally, the girl who preaches the Bible is the one smoking weed to try to keep up with a nigga that don't want her. But she's the one saying he needs better role models. Meanwhile, the Amazing Race exposed the fact that her father picked up the slack when her mother got sick, and he had to do the job of 2 people, basically, so her spoiled ass could live the great life she got to live, and yet she still proceeded to disrespect Cam's father the way she did anyway. You gotta understand, production is choosing these black women for a reason. This is not an accident. So it says, I'm sick of y'all holding black women to a higher standard and policing their every move. Ashley could say whatever she wants. You're not the moral police. This is probably the exact type of person who's the moral police when it's time to bash a man, right? Underneath it says, she's a fucking retard for making this about her. We really don't care or need to see how Mickey ghosted her. LMAO. She's just showing her attempt of making nice with somebody who is now gone. What the hell is wrong with you? Get a life. I don't know why she put LOL there. There's nothing funny about Mickey passing away. What the fuck is wrong with this bitch? Then the person next underneath once again replies and says, does she want us to give her a round of applause? Mickey just died. We don't give a fuck if she managed to be nice to her before her passing. And that's a fact. But once again, you hoes are so tone deaf, man. Like, y'all just don't get it, man. Y'all are not hit with enough reality to understand in real life, speaking ill of the dead or waiting for someone to die to try to act brand new and try to remix the whole narrative because now they're not around to tell their side of the story, that would get your ass beat in real life, bro. If Ashley were to show up to Mickey's funeral, you know her family would whoop her ass, right? I'm talking about real black politics now. There's certain things you don't do in black families. There's certain things you don't do to black people when they gone. But once again, this bitch don't know that because she didn't grow up in a black adjacent life. Sure, her family looked black. They didn't have a black life. And I'm not saying black equals poor, by the way. I'm saying black as in the people you are around have a certain level of self-confidence and a certain level of, I won't allow white people to make me delineate for what my ancestors would want me to never forget how they treated them. Ashley's the type to forget how her ancestors were treated if it benefits her. That's the difference. Ooh, that was a good way of putting that together. Now we have this nigga. He's blocked me. That's why you can't see a lot of this shit. But let's be real. A lot of these niggas blocked me because they can't debate me. And a lot of these niggas know that I'm the one nigga who tells the truth and they're threatened by me. But anyway, we watched how Ashley thinks and moves for 3 months. She is not always the best at reading the room. So how the fuck does she win the game, BB Team North? You do know you're just giving credence to the narrative she never deserved to win. If she can't read a fucking room, how is she a great social player? It's because she was surrounded by women. That's how. And because she was Rachel's friend. And all of y'all bent the knee to that racist bitch. But anyway. She is not always the best at reading the room. Communication can be a bit clunky at times. But we know she's not a malicious force. So, when the man is not good at reading a woman's subtle nuances or understanding things, it's just interesting to me how y'all don't ever post these paragraphs about how we need to give men grace because they didn't grow up as women. Y'all don't do that. Y'all just beat us down until we just conform. So why can't we beat this bitch down until she conforms, my nigga? That's my point in a nutshell. You niggas are phony. All of you. But I'm happy y'all are tweeting the way y'all are tweeting. Cause now no one can take any of y'all seriously ever again. Cause by y'all defending that bitch, y'all are making light of a black woman's death. Which completely it pretty much cancels out all the pandering y'all did to black women for 5 years. I mean, all the pandering Taryn did to black women, and he can't even say, oh, my heart goes out to Mickey Lee. He can't even say that shit. Oh, well, Dave, he maybe said it on Twitch. Who gives a fuck about that nigga's Twitch, nigga? That's the problem. That white boy think everything is a fucking game. Till it ain't. But that's my whole point. Everyone in this community thinks everything's a game until everything gets a little too serious, then everyone wants to go back to just saying it's just a show, guys. But any other time is more than a show when it's convenient for you, right? So you gotta understand, I'm so happy I retired from this community, not because Mickey's gone, but because due to her passing, people are able to see more clearly who have the real issues in this community, I should say. There's a way to nudge people back on track without being demeaning. When has Team North ever said this about black men? And who goes through more stress than the black man who always has his job in jeopardy, depending on how he plays, who always has people trying to ruin his life, who is under the biggest of microscopes, and even when the black man literally fulfills the prophecy, y'all give him zero grace. Once again, this is another subtle example of how people play both sides of the plate when it's convenient for them. Ashley's need to address anything and everything as her downfall. Her lack of self-awareness doesn't help. I don't think she was being malicious, but she has to see how her tweets are coming off weird. I want these house guests to understand it's okay to grieve offline. Another great point. Once again, people are acting like these points don't make sense to them because it doesn't fit a narrative. This person says, BB Twitter is now acting like they were also calling Morgan and Mickey homophobic. Mickey, a black heterosexual Christian woman, being homophobic. So now you're seeing examples of how these people called them homophobic. But as soon as she's gone now, this same person tweets, Big Brother fans bullied that poor lady into deadly panic attacks, those evil people. Oh no! The same one who labeled her homophobic so the gay mafia could be sicked on her, by the way. You are seeing how full of shit fans are. I mean, it's crazy. Like, y'all can't tell me I'm not the one telling the truth about all of these people. So once again, you gotta understand, ladies and gentlemen, this is just the tip of the iceberg. We got more to come, okay? Because these people can't help themselves, and I got all the evidence and data to back it up. So now you have this person, Morgan's friend on her Twitch, talking about she doesn't like Ashley outside of the house. You know Morgan be talking shit about Ashley with them. Please watch my girl in LA around Morgan's fake ass. Now, who's more fake than Ashley, first of all? Second of all, why are you implying that they are gonna harm this girl when she comes to LA? Nigga, this ain't the Biggie Tupac beef from the fucking 90s. What the fuck is wrong with some of you niggas? But see, deep down, y'all know if she was to get her ass whooped, she'd deserve it. So now y'all are speaking it into existence because y'all are defensive. This is the truth. Because it shouldn't even be on your mind if Ashley did nothing wrong, right? Y'all know she a fake ass feminist and a snake. Now, this person, Sminner T, said that, right? Now, this thread right here is interesting to me. All right, I was reading this very carefully because I was consumed by this. Check this out. I'm not gonna lie. I kind of hate. Okay, this person, reality recast. We all know this nigga's gay, right? Ashley deserved to win BB27 for the simple fact that she took Morgan's amazing game and made her doubt all of it and think she was gonna lose. It's so crazy how Morgan thinks she can't win. Now, mind you, this is from September. This person says, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of hate how y'all think Ashley is doing this. Morgan doubts her proven and incredible abilities all the time. Now keep in mind, this is Morgan's friend in real life, right? She was like this before she got in the house. I love you guys, but it's Morgan against herself. Giving all this credit to Ashley is nuts. Morgan has been hard on herself and doubting herself with a proven track record even before this. Ashley is not a magician. So once again, the same people in this community that were incapable of admitting Monty controlled Taylor's game from start to finish are the ones now claiming that somehow Ashley controlled Morgan's game from start to finish. Think about that. You see how ludicrous these people are as fans? So once again, no, cause like, all right, hold on. I think I clicked on the wrong thing. Okay, here it is. So this person says, no, cause like Morgan really did everything to be here. She put herself in the best position and worked to stay there. I love Ashley. I won't be mad if she wins, but Morgan has played an amazing game despite some of her questionable decisions. She clearly deserves this. She's come so far for real. I hope she takes it to the end instead of seeing Ashley as some sort of puppet master. They need to realize Morgan is going against her own internal instincts to self-deprecate, and that's what we're witnessing. And I'd argue Monty went through the same thing, where he felt like, man, I want to win this game, but I want to also have a black woman sit at the end next to me. That got flipped into, oh, you only took the black woman to the end because you thought you'd win. Shouldn't everyone going to Final Two think they have a shot to win? Y'all bitches said Ashley should believe she has a shot to win. So once again, somehow, some way, Monty is wrong for this ideology, but Ashley is right for cutting a black woman to take the white man y'all all hated and helping him make $75K. So even in that sense, they don't really hate Vince that much. I can create the argument they hated Morgan more, because the way they celebrated Ashley's win was a pure hatred of Morgan, more than Vince. Sure, they can say, well, she got to beat Vince in Final Two. But I thought y'all cared more about black women than y'all cared about men. So why would you prioritize a white man making more money than a black woman just to see him lose at the end? He would lose at the end anyway if he was third place. It doesn't make sense. So then Ashley comes out of nowhere. Why is my name in your mouth so much? Bitch, why is Mickey's name in your mouth so fucking much? See my point there? So once again, this is my problem with this hoe.
But that's your fault. That's your fault. Because you praised that weirdo shit. You liked that weirdo shit. You thought it was cool. You thought it was funny.
But then when someone else does it to you, now it's, oh, why is my name always in your mouth? Now they run to, you're clout chasing. When deep down, we can tell Ashley wants this type of engagement, because without it, no one cares what this bitch is up to. This is what I'm trying to get people to understand. No one cares about her, bro. And I think it really pains her to know that the minute she stepped out and tried to make things about herself, everyone shut her down. And the only ones speaking highly of her are the ones that are clearly hypocrites. Why is my name in your mouth so much? The entire thread says why. Please read it. Everyone's been sending all your threads in my DM. So once again, Ashley has a group of little rats running around. Here, look at this. Trying to cause drama because deep down they're bored and they just want to see their faves fight with someone. When the truth is, if they really were fans of yours, Ashley, they wouldn't be sending you that shit. They'd want you to live a stress-free life with the money you just made. But why does it feel like even though you've won the game, you still have so much to prove to yourself and to others? Think about the way Xavier won the game and just disappeared. That nigga got his money. He's also an attorney. But guess what? That nigga got engaged and he said, fuck this community. I don't owe y'all shit. I'm out. And while I will admit to a certain degree he set black men up further to fail by doing that, I also can admit Monty's game was only possible because Xavier shut the fuck up. Problem is, sisters don't know when to shut the fuck up. Even when a sister passes, it's motor mouth season. So you just gotta understand, Ashley caught herself trying to press one of Morgan's friends, but I guarantee you Ashley would never press Morgan in real life. Or her friends in real life. She got her own fans scared she gonna be harmed in LA when she goes to visit them. But if you ask me, she's moving like somebody who wants to get touched. So once again, Ashley can act like a fake gangster when we all know this bitch went to a private school. She went to Cranbrook. That's a private school. she grew up in a house with both parents, and her parents had a real good marriage, right? But when it's convenient, she wants to be that ratchet bitch because she knows that's what the ignorant young black girls want to see. So she plays a character for y'all on TV. She plays a character for y'all on social media. And y'all eat that shit up. And I'm not talking about the black women within the RBR group, but I'm talking about in general. That's what she does. And the way sisters get away with it, I still don't understand it. But let's move forward. Because at the end of the day, a lot of this discourse is just troublesome. You can read it for yourself. I showed it on the screen for a bit. If you want, you can pause it and read it. But once again, I'm not trying to be here all day with these tweets, but I'm just trying to paint a picture for you all. I'm looking at these pics and clips on Instagram, and this cast is so fake it's nauseating. I'm starting to respect Vince a little for not engaging in this. Well, to be frank, every man that plays Big Brother in this current era of Big Sister, they have to disappear because they can't gain anything from being around. Y'all have created a world where no matter how we play, we don't get credit for it. Y'all have created a world where even if we have fans, y'all don't want us to actually take advantage of it by making any money. And that's why I respect what Keanu's doing. He separated himself from the BB space just enough. He has his own social circle. He has his own real life friends from his Dungeon Master days. And now he's streaming games and doing things that he wants to do. And guess what? It's become quite lucrative for him. And by doing that, he doesn't have to be on the casting couch. He doesn't have to be begging these networks for opportunities. In fact, it gives him a bit more leverage when it comes to negotiations. That tells me that brother got a real brain. Meanwhile, the Corey Worthenbergers of this world is still trying to keep shit together when the shit is unraveling in front of him with a bitch that he know ain't shit. But he thinks because they both like Ashley, that'll keep their relationship intact. Once again, alpha dogs and beta males are so vastly polar opposite that there's a reason why niggas rock with Keanu despite the fact that he may not have been the best strategic player. But at the end of the day, Da'Vonne was terrible socially and strategically herself. Y'all made her into an icon for it though. She played the game how many times? So once again, it's very rich to suggest that everyone who plays the game again has to be good at it. Because we've seen several players brought back just because they check a box. We've seen several players brought back just because you needed a token. We've seen several people brought back just because they have a famous GIF, not because they have a famous move. I mean, in 3 seasons, Da'Vonne only won like 1 comp. I mean, the bitch is embarrassing. So you just gotta understand, man. And that's what kind of sparked the reason why all the comps got so much easier. And then Keanu starts dog walking y'all in all these easier comps, and then y'all try to take that away from, well, the comps are easier. Well, that's what y'all ask for as women, so y'all can beat men. Then when men beat your ass more at easier comps, then you bitch about that too. Tucker and Keanu both won AFP. Why? Because they actually made the game entertaining by making every comp worth watching because they actually weren't throwing them. And yeah, they may have put a target on them, but let's be honest. If T-Core didn't sabotage everyone's game so Chelsie could win, Tucker would have probably went on to try to win the game. If Vince didn't sabotage every man in the game in favor of his own selfish endeavors, then Keanu probably would have won the game. These are the facts. But this is also why I don't really respect Vince as a man either. So that's just what it is. Now you have this tweet. This is from Gwendolyn Watkins. This says, hold on. Let's so much fake mourning and hand wringing on this app from disgusting, nasty Big Brother fanatics over Dear Mickey's death. Most of you treated her like shit and talked about her like a dog because she dared to go up against bitch-ass bully Rachel during her time on the show. Y'all can shove that shit up your butts. You'll be right back to sending daily hate to some more former house guests before the day is over. And that's a fact. And I'm happy she said that shit. Because once again, none of these people really are going to change how they act when BB28 comes around. They're going to be the same exact way. Now you have this person, Diamante. one of the most delusional swirler feminists I've ever seen on social media. This bitch has a following because all she does is look for some non-black man and tries to ship them with the most awkward black bitch in society. She says, BB alumni really making it about themselves when the body not even cold. News ain't even been out 3 hours. Why am I seeing last text message and woe is me tweets? Now, the funniest part about all this is that EB's cookout cooked this hoe. You fella dig me. This nigga said Diamante was one of the loudest when it came to attacking Mickey as recent as earlier this month. So for her to be policing how people should grieve or honor Mickey is ridiculous. That's why Chelsea's tweet about how nasty some of the fans are had her so bothered. Nasty work. Thank you, EB, for telling the fucking truth, my boy. See, now this is how you heal. See, when gay dudes start realizing that it's these women who's the problem, then you start to see some real balance happen in society. Because let's just be honest here. Gay dudes will look the other way as long as they get treated better than straight dudes. But eventually even gay dudes get sick of the bullshit. Because gay dudes can say whatever they want. Deep down in their hearts, they want a man too. So they see women as their competition too. So when it's all said and done, let's just keep it real in these streets. It makes perfect sense to me that he would be the type of person to call her out. Because Diamante doesn't get the game. That bitch doesn't know, she doesn't know her times tables. That bitch is slow as a box of rocks, huh? That bitch don't know shit about nothing. She don't know nothing about black history. She don't know nothing about Big Brother history. All she know is to promote swirling. And that's where she got popular from. Pushing potato chip with a non-black man, right? But then when Jared was with Blue Kim, she didn't like that. You know? These swirlers hate seeing brothers with non-black women, but they love propping up black women for the same exact thing. But shout outs to EB though, man. And he also doubled back. He actually circled the block on their ass. And he said, the family asks for quiet space and privacy. And you can't even respect that enough to not go back and forth with someone on Twitter. Truly a disgusting individual that thrives on negativity. I'd argue, EB, this is the community though. You know? And when I was calling out these entities, everyone labeled me a madman. They said I was just some misogynist. Right? This is what they said. So now we move on to another tweet. Oh man, I loved it that EB called out that bitch though. She needed to be called out. That bitch, her entire platform should have been taken down ages ago. That bitch doesn't provide any unique opinion outside of swirl good. Anyway, this one says, Mickey talking about how Lauren lost her grandmother and that Mickey lost her grandfather on Christmas last year. Mickey passed away on Christmas. So you have to understand, people are now going back. They're starting to see what Mickey has overcome, and it's starting to make them realize how hard they were on this girl. I don't even think a lot of these people were aware of the hole in her heart while they were treating her like shit. Also, when you're getting death threats, when you have people treating you like shit, when you have people alienating you because they don't want to be seen with you because they don't want their fans to judge them, right? That's added stressors on someone who already has certain ailments. Now, I'm not saying the community played a role in her death, but what I am saying is it surely didn't help anything. And the way none of these voices, when things are going good, they love to speak up and look like a leader then, the way none of them want to speak up and really take ownership for what's really the problem now, it once again shows they aren't real leaders, right? A real leader owns up when they fucked up. Now we get to the Chelsie stage. Chelsie portion of this rant. Now, I've spoken about her a little bit earlier in it, but realistically speaking, this girl doesn't know what she's talking about either. She should have put her Twitter fingers down, and she should have drank herself some fucking hot chocolate, and she should have started binging something, just like Ashley. Both of these girls, they have a certain level of narcissism that makes them incapable with their main character syndrome of just zipping their mouths. So Chelsie says, Mickey and I had several conversations of the death threats that came her way from the Big Brother audience. Now, once again, this is an anecdotal story. one that Mickey is not here to be able to confirm, co-sign, or whatever the fuck. For you to wait for her to die to then suggest you were the main person in private supporting her, well, how come you couldn't be the main one in public supporting her? You got 750 grand. Why are you scared to tell Big Brother fans to take it easy on her? How can black women have all of this capital and wealth and still fear what people think of them? But then have the audacity to talk ill of black men who don't have 10% of their wealth, and then hold us to the standard of having to do more for our community. It's astonishing. She says, I love what Big Brother has brought me, but the worst part of it all has been this community online. The stuff that we see is insane. This death hit hard, it's sobering. So you have to understand, this is who Diamante was apparently going back and forth with. EB sniped at Diamante to shut that bitch up, but that still didn't stop people from coming at Chelsie because this story is just a bit bizarre. It still comes off clout chasey. So underneath it says, acting like those things are related is a bad look. Once again, what does death threats realistically have to do with the flu? Right? Like, whoa. Like, it's like someone is trying their best to say, hey guys, look at me, right? Then this person says, how can I find a way to make this about me? So understand, everyone is seeing what the real agenda is, right? Now, like usual, when a black woman is called out on something, they play victim and act like everyone just has it out for them. But realistically speaking, no one asked for your opinion on this. No one demanded it. Now she says, now, this was the death threats thing again, and this person says, what a weird way to memorialize your friend. So once again, people are starting to see she wasn't a real friend of this girl, because if you got all that money, and if she's going through all them death threats and shit, why not help get her therapy? Why not help her with her business? Why not use some of their capital to help black people in general who are victims of death threats? She could have used this in many ways positively while Mickey was alive to show real solidarity. She chose not to. Nah, she chose to just talk about Amazing Race. Am I wrong? No, I'm not. So this person comments and says, it's not about what you said. I know how and when you said it. I understand the message loud and clear, but you using Mickey's death as a springboard to talk about it is sickening, and you need serious help. Potato chip, what have you done to black women? You have created a new archetype that doesn't even care about black death. It's insane to me. It's insane. I'm sorry, but Mickey being the one making faith-based moves while she is fueled by so much hate is just so on brand for American Christianity. So now you have this white bitch doing social commentary on religion and talking about how Mickey, being a Christian, motivated her to take out Jimmy because he's gay. This is the same girl saying this, right? And then all of a sudden when Mickey dies, and Chelsie posts what she posts, she says, get in there, make it about you. So now all of a sudden, you're part of Mickey's defense team, bitch? See how fake these hoes are? See what I'm saying? Everybody is switching up. And this was one of the main reasons why I retired from this area, from this community. Because I saw it. I said, damn, no one's real anymore. No one tells the truth. Everyone is just robbing Peter to pay Paul. Nobody has integrity. Nobody has any class. And everybody is looking for a man to blame. That way they don't have to admit that there's something wrong with themselves because they're insane. There's no hate like a religious person. She's not God's child. She's the devil's child. These were the things being said about Mickey Lee months ago, y'all. So she's the devil's child. She's a homophobe. She's anti-black. She's racist. I mean, any single type of narrative that would normally be lumped on a black man, oh, they shoved him on this girl. And once again, you have to wonder, what did she do to make you niggas this mad? Targeting this gay dude, Jimmy, made y'all this angry? So you gotta understand, ladies and gentlemen, the same person underneath here who essentially said it's so humiliating, she's like one of the worst people in that house. She's the same person who said, oh my God, Mickey passed away. I'm in shock. I can't make this up. I can't make this up. Now you have this person. The arrogance that has overtaken Mickey's entire persona is disgusting. Another faggot, right? Right after this, what does he do? I'm so heartbroken over the passing of Mickey. I really can't believe it. She was so young. You were seeing how full of shit fans are. I can't make this shit up, man. I can't make it up. So now, in closing, ladies and gentlemen, I want to get to my overarching point. Because this is the part that makes me really angry. And no one else is going to talk about this but me. Hold on. Let's start here. Mickey and Morgan will always have a hater in me. They literally ruined the trajectory of the season. Now you see the emojis at the top to confirm who this person is. All of a sudden, when Mickey passes, they retweet 2 tweets from Rachel and Will talking about, oh, Mickey's gone, my condolences, oh. She ruined the trajectory of the season, but now all of a sudden, you care about her. Now we have Ashley, once again, replying to an evil dick tweet saying everyone needs to cancel him. And you know what this person underneath said? And this is what made me chuckle a bit. I can't lie. This made me chuckle a bit, y'all. This made me chuckle because niggas wanted to smoke with this bitch. I ain't gonna lie. Hold on. Yeah, niggas, hold on. Niggas wanted to smoke with this bitch. All right, so it says, Evil Dick replied to Julie Chen Moonves saying, but God kept her alive just to kill her later. Now, of course, that's in poor taste. No one's here to co-sign Evil Dick. That nigga's a piece of shit, but he's a rage baiter. Shay said it the other day. This is what Evil Dick, he's turned this into a business model for himself, right? Now, above, you see, how does he still have a platform? And then Ashley says, cancel him, right? Underneath, this person says, how about we cancel you? Evil Dick wasn't being disrespectful whatsoever, and just so you know, you will never be a status as one of the greatest in BB history. So you have to understand, there are people that don't give a fuck about Mickey's passing so much so that they are defending Evil Dick's greatness while also coming after Ashley. There was a time, a few years ago, you would never see this. But with all due respect, sisters have become so insufferable lately. They have made it a lot easier for these entities to be able to speak their mind more. Because all that swirl content y'all are pushing, that opened the door more to more white people feeling like their opinions mattered on black topics. Now they feel like they can tell you who the fuck you are as a black woman. Now we're really gonna get into what my real crux is here. Ashley comes out of the woodwork and says, please donate to Mickey's GoFundMe. Her family needs all the love and support right now. Now this bitch has 750 grand. She comes from wealth, but she's trying to get fans to do all the donating. All they need is 45 grand to meet the amount of money necessary for travel, for expenses, the whole nine. For funeral costs, I would imagine. In theory, if Ashley really felt a certain type of way about her and Mickey, and if they truly had reconciled to the degree she wants us to believe, wouldn't she, just in good faith, just pay the 45 grand out? Understanding all these other fans don't got it like that. It's the holiday season. Most people are broke. Most people are working overtime to be able to afford gifts for their kids. The economy is in a shithole. But this bitch would rather have you, the average Joe, spending your money than spending hers. And you know how I know for a fact how full of shit this bitch is? Because GoFundMe actually has a top donation section. In this top donation section, you can see who really puts action behind their words. Uh-oh, we're getting somewhere with this shit. See, this is deep, ladies and gentlemen. And when you look at the top donations, you're not gonna see this bitch Ashley Hollis anywhere. You see Isaac Hayes III, he worked with Mickey on several things in the past. They've done podcasts together. That makes sense. Salute to that brother. You even see Danielle Reyes found a way to donate $300. She never won Big fucking brother. But you mean to tell me Ashley fucking Hollis don't have no money to donate to this black woman that she's so thirsty to clout chase off of, huh? Chelsie don't have no fucking money to donate to this black woman's family, huh? But y'all can come out and act like y'all her best friend when she gone, huh? Both of you hoes, after taxes, came out of the game with at least 375 grand. And you mean to tell me you hoes couldn't even donate a stack? And mind you, this is as recent as last night I checked the top donations. Sure, something could have changed since, but when it's all said and done, shit, they're 3 grand away from the target. It don't matter as much now. My point is, there's a lot of hardworking people who don't have disposable income that they decided to put the onus on to show love and support for Mickey. But the main ones trying to gain the clout and notoriety from being her biggest supporters before she left this earth, they're the ones all of a sudden penny pinching like they're broke. This in a nutshell exposes the entire black community within the BB space. We really don't support each other like we claim we do. Y'all can keep labeling black men the problem, but the truth is, sisters are their own worst enemies. Because when they view each other as the ones capable of usurping their own clout level or clout status, they gatekeep each other. And when y'all see an opportunity to gain more attention on yourself, y'all reach for it. Chelsie put a black man's dirty drawers up to a camera for clout. Now we're supposed to believe she's not capable of doing this to Mickey? That's how I know niggas have forgotten the score with her. Ashley, on the other hand, this bitch has been throwing shade over and over. She called Mickey Mickey Mouse within the house. She was throwing shade at Vince and Morgan after the game to legitimize her win. She's constantly throwing shrapnel at people, trying to get people to remember who she is. But the truth is, all people want to do is forget the season because you won it. If Vince and Morgan had won it, it would be viewed as one of the better seasons ever to a lot of fans. But because you won it, they only want it to go away. You got go away heat. That's what they call it in wrestling. And what I find so disgusting is how you bitches can get online and claim the community is a problem and we need to fix this and fix that. And you talk about how black men need better role models. You talk all this shit. Meanwhile, what kind of fucking role model are you? When you had the chance to be a real leader and donate some real money, you didn't do shit. And mind you, you only need to donate $345 to be a top donator. These bitches got over 300 grand in their bank account and couldn't find a way to donate $345. And people wonder why I retired. I retired because, with all due respect, I'm disgusted by the people within this community. I'm disgusted by the women who allow them to get away with being full of shit. I'm disgusted with the way these new blacks deify these white media members who don't give a fuck about black culture or black people. I'm disgusted with how feminism has turned our sisters against each other because subconsciously they all know they're at the bottom of the feminist totem pole. So now they gotta fight with each other life or death just to be the token that gets to the top. But in the black community, y'all were always at the top. That wasn't good enough for some of y'all though. So y'all decided y'all'd rather be on the bottom of some shit that's ran by gays and whites than being at the top of something that you have to share with black men. Then when a sister passes, and y'all want everyone to believe that you supported her through getting death threats, and she eventually does pass, you can't even donate money to her, Chelsie? Ashley wants to showcase text messages of how her and Mickey are now cool. But how cool are y'all if you can't donate no money to her after she passes? So you don't care about her family, you don't care about her. And this is exactly why Mickey's family is sick of your fucking ass. And that's why when this post came across my desk, shout outs to El Chapo Nas. All right, I came across this through their timeline. It says, Big Brother 27 star Ashley Hollis says she tried to make peace with co-star Mickey Lee before tragic passing. This was posted by the Jasmine brand. I don't know if it's some feminist company or what, but understand, the person underneath this is a family member of Mickey's, okay? And this person specifically says, stop trying to get clout off my cousin. You're a nobody. Move around. So the family of Mickey don't like your bitch ass. You deep down know it. That's why you didn't donate, because you deep down don't like her or her family. You just didn't think this little social justice move that you pulled would backfire. And now that it has, now you've tucked your tail and now you want to be a victim, because that's the only way a black woman can get attention and love shown on her is if she's a victim. Problem is, you'll never out-victim someone who died, you dumb bitch. And the fact that you would use the death of a black woman to try to make everything about yourselves, I'm talking about Chelsie and Ashley, it once again showcases why black men have every right to make more stuff about themselves moving forward. We can't afford to be wasting time trying to pull up, pick up, or educate the ignorant who deep down, even if we show them where the water is, they won't drink it if it came from a black man's water bottle. We can't afford to waste time with you hoes who would rather align with white feminists than acknowledge the fact that your black father protected you when you grew up. We can't waste time with y'all. And make no mistake about it, the way y'all have acted after Mickey's passing, it completely justified all her talking points about being the only traditional black woman on her cast. And the one thing I respect the most about Morgan is you don't see her clout chasing. So I can at least respect the fact that Morgan is a real one. Morgan might be going through something, but that's not for us to know. The fact that y'all wanted us all to know how y'all were feeling, and y'all got all this social capital, y'all got all this liquid capital, and y'all have managed to do nothing with it since y'all have won the game. It shows exactly why CBS has no problem handing you money over black men. Because when black men actually make money, we actually recirculate it in our community. We actually give back. We actually break bread with one another. We actually are patrons of black businesses. Whether that be the ones that are illegal in the street or the ones that are legitimized, we still break bread with each other, baby. Because we understand the importance of that. And when you think about how much the black community generates and stimulates this economy, the fact that we don't have more black businesses, that is a direct indicator of self-hate. Because for some of us, when we see black people doing better than us, we don't want them to shine off our dollar, so we go to the white man and go to their business instead. Then we convince themselves all of their products are much better. In some cases they may be, like grocery stores. We know how shit goes down with the redlining with that. But 9 times out of 10, some of us are just bougie. Some of us just have self-hate. And some of us just feel like we're better than other blacks when we go to white folks for service. And that's the saddest part about it all. We got all these upper class, uppity black women with no ties to our society that are the role models for our young black girls. And it's all designed to fuck up their mindset, pull them into a certain level of misconception, a certain level of deception. It's all meant to put them down the same path, the same spiral of self-destruction. And then people wonder why, as each generation goes by since the civil rights movement, the black community is worse off. It's because every generation since the civil rights movement, women have delineated further away from the black man. There is a correlation in that. When the black man was in the household, black families were more successful. You think Ashley disrespects her black father when she's around him? No. But you saw how Chelsie acted around hers. So ladies and gentlemen, in closing, Potato Chip is the one who opened the door to this Pandora's box. But all the sisters that followed behind her, they could have chosen to go a different route, and they chose to go along to get along. Those are the actions of followers, not the actions of true erudites, not the actions of true leaders who can lead us to a better tomorrow. I've always been that leader, and that's why no one likes me. And sometimes you gotta ask yourself, if everyone likes you so much, maybe it's because you're not doing anything good for your people. Wise man once said, if you don't got haters, you ain't doing nothing. But if you do have haters, you must be doing something right. I'm Dave Smith for Recency Bias Radio, where no one is safe from criticism. And maybe now, moving forward, you all will start to pay more close attention to the relational aggression aimed at our black people. Because make no mistake about it, the same people that hated Mickey for her comments about being the only true black woman on the cast, those were the same people at one point that didn't believe Hannah was black enough for the cookout. Those were the people once upon a time who didn't think Amira or Jasmine were black enough to make history. But they were the same ones who didn't mind Danielle Reyes making the history going home to a Latino man. But one thing I will give Danielle Reyes credit for is the idea that when push came to shove, she at least donated some money and became a top donor to Mickey's family. See, when all else fails, you get to see who people really are when they don't broadcast who they are. And behind closed doors, Danielle Reyes has shown me she's more pro-black than all you bitches that won the game. And that in a nutshell shows me why she didn't really fuck with y'all when she played Rudolph games with y'all. She could see how fake you fucks were. So listen, I'm not somebody who tries to tell anyone who they need to fall in love with. I have graduated and matured to a whole different level where I don't judge based off that. I judge you based on how you act. And one thing we all can admit is the way women, more specifically black women, have handled the death of one of their own, it has put a huge black eye on the entire black community. And now it's up to you to do something about it. Hasta la próxima.